Hello, welcome to odunigeria.com. Today we will be sharing with you tips and tricks on the use of Excel. My name is Ivan Suko. We're still in lockdown, and so what we're using this time to do is to try and help people solve their Excel problem. Okay, you can have more if you go to odunigeria.com. There we have had a lot of Excel tutorials that will help you improve your skills in Excel. Okay, so let's look at the topics that we would like to handle today. Okay, basically today we would like to look at how you can compare two Excel databases and match the cells reference. We want to show the difference between the two databases. We want to show you how you can use concatenation and if condition in Excel formulas. We want to show you how you can compare two databases and find a company name that is in one database and is not in the other database. When I talk about database, you can have Excel database. Maybe you're working on subscription, so you have maybe like you have 1,000, 2,000 names in a database, and maybe you're saving this database at different vintages. And sometimes you want to bring two of them, two databases, and you want to find corresponding information. That's what we want to do today. And then we also want to see how if you bring two company name in two databases, maybe one is 500 and the other one is 1,000, you can actually ask a cell in a second to show you names in database one that is not in database two, and then names of company that are unique in two databases. That means in database one, you have the name, and in database two, sorry, in database one, the name that is in database two does not exist there, and vice versa. We'll then also talk about today the use of VLOOKUP. Okay, you're going to use VLOOKUP. We're going to use VLOOKUP extensively, and the way I'm going to explain VLOOKUP to you today, you will never forget. You will never forget when you want to use VLOOKUP and the situation that will warrant you to actually use VLOOKUP. I'm going to tell you. I'm also going to tell you common mistake people do. Get wrong result and hope that the result is correct by use of a VLOOKUP. Finally, today, we're going to see how you can, if you have, say, two databases, and then you already have numbers, you want to compare the two databases, wherever you find the name, you want to copy the value and then transfer to the other database. That's what we basically want to look at today. Okay, so again, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get weekly updates on the Excel tips and tricks that we share on weekly basis. I actually do this myself and share to our numerous viewers. Okay, please like this video, I beg you. You can also post your questions on the comment section. Just go and post a question there on comment section. I'll be able to respond directly to you. Also, you can also share this video with people that are learning Excel in your offices. If you have new trainees that are learning how to use Excel, please show them to odunigeria.com. Odu is spelled O-D-O-O Nigeria.com. We have a full page there where we have a number of videos, tutorials on the Excel formulas. If you go through it, it's very good, it's very rich, it's knowledge based, and then it would help anyone learning Excel to get to expert level very quickly. Okay, let's jump into Excel sheet and see how we can actually start solving Excel problem. Okay, all right. Let me put up a data that I have populated here. Okay, all right. The first thing we want to do here is to see how in database one here we have names of people. Okay, and in database two here we also have names of people. Again, this data must have been saved at different times. All right, and then we want to match, make sure that the people that we have, assuming it is a subscription database, the people we have in database one is exact same name in database two. The reason being that if you have a database of subscription, one person should not have the name repeated twice, because the person will pay one subscription and that should be okay. So you might want to be sure that the names are not repeated, okay? But again, you have saved database 1 at different time, and you save database 2 at different time. So what we want to do is to match name with name, names in database 1 and names in database 2. Okay, the very quick way to start here, I want to say that we have a problem. Because in the wisdom of whoever that created this database, they have kept a different column for name. So you now have column 1 for surname and column 2 for surname. Okay, column 2 is first name and then column 1 is first name. We would like to actually make the field unique. Okay, because if you are comparing a 1 by 1, you will have a situation here that we now have here we have Fadama Madu, and then here you have Idio Madu. They are not the same person. So this name, even though they share the same first name, but the surnames are different. So you might want to avoid this kind of error. So the best thing to do is to actually combine this first name and surname and first name together. Okay, in database 1, and we also would compare the first name, the surname and the first name together in database 2, and then we can then do a matching reference. Okay, so let's quickly see how we can do that. For us to be able to do that, we're going to use an Excel formula called concatenation. Now, in IT, in software, we use concatenation when we want to, join two fields together. Or, for example, here you have two var character or character field. We just want to join them together. So, again, in Excel, for you to start a formula, you can do another thing on Excel spreadsheet. Remember that Excel spreadsheet is an electronic spreadsheet. So for you to let Excel know that you want to write formula, you start with equal sign, okay? So I'm going to put my cursor here, or right in this block, and say equals to. Now when you start typing, Excel will give you possibly formulas that begin with CON, okay? So I want to concatenate, all right? So I pick the surname, okay? And then when you want to also, you need to separate between two fields in Excel, all right? So, and then if you look at it here, Excel has already tell me text 1, text 2, okay? Text is actually a character field, all right? So you separate with a comma, okay? And then I say you should pick the first name, and I close my bracket. Remember, in mathematics, when you open a bracket, you must also close a bracket. Otherwise, Excel will bomb you with an error, all right? But if you do that, okay, I intentionally do that and do this, all right? So Excel has done it, but again, okay, it has actually closed the bracket here for me. But if I didn't put that bracket, I will actually get into an error condition in Excel. Okay, so let's even open this up a little bit. Okay, but we have a problem here, all right? If we do this, we notice that all the names are joined together. That's how the names that people are written. We want to separate surname and the first name. So we would like to put one space there. So that's the second problem we want to solve now. All right, so you go back to your formula, okay, and put open and close quotes, all right? Again, you must separate with a comma, all right? And then you ask a cell to check if you are correct, all right? All right, so, but we still have a problem. Akpan and son is not separated, okay? So we come back to the quotes and put a space and say, ask a cell to check, okay? Sorry. Okay, so we've now gotten it right. Again, if you had wanted to use a comma, okay, surname, comma, first name, okay? So what we then do is to go inside that, this open and close quotes, and then we put comma, all right? And then we say a cell should do that. So you can see now that I've written the name the way it will resonate with, if we're going to print this name, it will resonate with the honors of the name, surname, comma, and first name. Now, once you do that, you come here, you see this, when you put your cursor here, it is in a block form. Now, when I bring it to this box here, it changes to a small cross. If you double click it, Excel will, even if I have 1 million record in a second, Excel has actually written this for me. Okay. But here, I also notice that this data is not efficient. There is a space here. So you might need to check that. So when you do your data, you need to be sure that your data is correct. Okay, so it's correct. There is no space there. We have space behind. Okay. Okay. All right. So maybe there is a space here. Let's check. Okay. So there's a space here. If you don't do this, I'm going to tell you something. If you don't remove this space, it will actually affect our results. Okay. And these are simple, little problem people have. And that's why when I take up a teaching in Excel, we try to make sure I have more problem as I would expect so that I will help my student to be able to see how to fix those problems. So here, if you look at all the ones that we have here, there is between Kunle here. It means when we created this data, there is a space already, a blank space after Kunle, and that's why I'm having this problem. So to remove this, because it's going to affect the quality of results we get, maybe I'll come back to it. Let me do the match so that you can see how it affects our result, and then we'll go and fix it. Okay. All right. So here too, I want to make sure that this is unique. All right. So equals to concatenate. All right. So I pick surname. Remember the order that you use here is the same order you use. I use Akman, comma, Sunday. All right. So I have, you must also do the same thing here. You pick this first one and you put comma. Okay. And you now open a quote. All right. Remember I talked about this comma. You actually put a comma and you close the quote. All right. And then you pick the last name. Okay. So if we come back here, up here, we can still continue with the formula. All right. And then we pick a okay, we have a quote here. We didn't close it well. All right. Before we do that, we need to actually separate it. All right. I always want to do this so that I have problems and I show you how to get out of that problem. Again, you may do what we did before. Actually remove this so you're not confused. You know, write them after one after the other. And then you can now pick. All right. So it has picked it and then it has written. But again, it's joined together. So the next thing I want to do is to put comma and a space. All right. Okay. So I've gotten exactly what I wanted. Okay, you're right. Again, notice that we're also having issue with Kunle here. All right. They're not the same thing. So we might want to take out this space. So you now go to the data itself to effect this change. I remove the while space there. So we now got it properly. Okay. So remove this blank space here. So you get it. So I've gotten these two information here. If you check database 1 and database 2, you might notice that, let me do something here. Every time you want to make sure that things are arranged so that you can see all, you can come here across and you double click. Excel will actually give you the width that is required for the column to display properly. Take note of that. Okay. All right. So I now have these two data here from two databases and they are unique. So I can compare them. All right. To compare is a very simple example, a very simple formula. Okay. So you now say is equals to, we now compare this, match this sales reference exactly. It must be equal to this exactly. All right. And then so Excel tell me it's true. All right. So I know the ones that are true now. If you double click this, Excel quickly tells you all the ones that are true and all the ones that are false. Okay. So, all right. Now, Excel has returned the ones that are true and the ones that are false for me. Okay. I might want to do something else to do a more descriptive true or false. You know, doesn't really tell me exactly what I want. So next thing I want us to do is to actually insert a space here. We want to do more work in it. Okay. I want Excel to tell me a record found, record not found. Okay. So it will become more descriptive. All right. And for us to do that, we're going to use an if condition. Okay. So what I will then do is go here, copy this formula that we have here. All right. Or Don't, okay. Okay. So come here, write the same formula. This, okay, will be this equals to this. And then you get it true. But I want to, use an if condition. All right. And then ask Excel to tell me whether this record matches record in database 1 matches record in database 2. Okay, so I need a more descriptive. So you can actually put any English that you want. True or false is what Excel has returned. Assuming you don't want to do true or false, you actually want to put a more descriptive answers or a more descriptive result. So I might say found, not found, or match, not match. Okay, record found, record not found. Okay, all right. So let's come to this formula now and say, and then modify this formula and say if. Remember, Excel tells you um, if this condition, okay, if the condition. So you see there, if logic, we want to test logic, if it is true or false. All right. So I close. I remember I told you when you open a bracket, you must also close the bracket. All right. And then, okay, we might not need to close it. We can tell Excel quickly and say comma, open and close, and then say match. Okay, because we're doing match. And then we can also say open and close again, and quote again, and say not match. Okay, and then we can actually close our bracket. Okay, let's see if that will be good with Excel. Okay, so you could say true, I can say match. Again, if you come here and double click, if you can see all the records that are not matched. All right. Again, in Excel, you can actually, you might want to, pull out this data, copy this data and put somewhere and send to your boss. Okay, I've looked at this. This is the result. What you want to send are you've actually checked the two databases. You want to report back the database that has matched, and the ones that are different. Okay. So for us to be able to do this, you can actually apply a filter. All right. So this one topic, discussed a lot of things. So you come here and go and say filter. Once you click on filter, you notice that all your headings here, okay, you see your heading here, all right, where we were, that it has actually, Excel has actually picked, so we can actually select all, we can remove select all and say only match. So now Excel has actually put a filter there, and we can see all the records that did not match. Okay, all right. We can also remove this and put at a very high level so that this match will not show. All right. You can actually come to the filter here. Let me see where I can keep this. All right. So we can come here. We can come to sort and filter again. All right. Look again. Okay. So we have actually cleared the filter. So if we are here, you can actually apply a filter here at a very high level. Okay, we're trying to apply a filter. Okay, I now have a filter now. So you can have more and said, I want all the ones that, matches the record. And say, okay. So now I see all the records that are matches here. And then when you look at down the screen here, you see 9 of 17. So you have like 17 record. It's only 9 here that matches, the names that we have in database 1 and 2. And then you can also click back and then change your filter to say you want the ones that are not matched. You can only 3. So you see 3 out of 17. All right. So that's how to actually use concatenate and also use if condition to check databases. Next, we want to do is we want to show if we have two databases again, company name. Want to show a company database 1 we have Google, we have Walmart, we have Shopify. If you want to actually check databases that are in company in database 1 and also in database 2, and then want to show which one are in database 1, which one in database 2. And we will also like to show the ones that are unique. They are not in database 1, they are not in database 2. So how can you quickly do that? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so that you can see, you can have a better view. All right, so that's why I said here how to compare today and find names of company in database 1 and database 2. So for us to do that, you just quickly highlight the database 1 and database 2. All right, in fact, I've put a simple procedure here. You highlight, and then you go to home. All right, and then you go to conditional formatting, and then you say highlight cells rule. All right, the rule we want to apply is that we want to see the duplicate values. Okay, so when you do that, you see that we have Google in database 1 here. All right, it's painted already for us, and we also have Google here. We have Walmart here. We have Walmart here. We have ShopRite here. We have ShopRite here. We have a Erase Supermart here. We also have a Erase Supermart. Okay, so you can actually, if you don't like this color, you can actually change the color. All right, you can actually change the color. All right, to whatever color that you like. Okay, and you say okay. So that's the first instance. For instance, if I want to now ask a cell to, show me the database, company that are in database 1, but they do not also exist in database 2, and company that are in database 2 and does not exist in database 1. They are unique. So how do I do that? Okay, so to be able to do that, you highlight this, okay, again, and you remove these conditions that will clear these conditions that we have set. If you want to see the two in, give you different shades of color, you can leave it. All right, and you come back to conditional formatting, and then you say highlight cells, cells rule, and you come back to duplicate that we have. Where you have duplicate here, we're now looking for unique values. Okay, we want to change the color of the unique value to yellow. All right, and say okay. So all the companies that we find, sorry, I think the color has been mixed up. Okay, we have Google here, we have Google here. Okay, so that's correct. All right, and then we have Shopify here, and we don't. If you check here in database 2, we don't have it anywhere here. And we have a Kenneth store here, and we don't have a Kenneth store here. We have Boeing here, and we don't have Boeing here. So this way, we've been able to use two color to show you the ones that are unique and the ones that are duplicating in the two database. Okay. Okay. Let me quickly run because I need to show. Okay. What we have done now, we can also use VLOOKUP to do the same thing. Okay. We can use VLOOKUP to do the same thing. We can use VLOOKUP to do the same thing. Now, VLOOKUP is very simple if you understand the rules of VLOOKUP. You only have problem if you don't understand the rules of VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP actually means vertical looking data in a vertical column. Okay, looking data vertically in a column. It can be 1 million record, but Excel will do you good. Will bring you results very quickly. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to say we ask a cell equals to, we've started VLOOKUP. Okay, so you put L here and then you write. Now, if you look at here, what is the value? What we want to do is to check the matching value. Pick a key. Okay, so lookup value here is a key that we're going to bring into database 2 and look for the matching word Google. And if he sees it, he should tell us that he has found the record. All right. Okay, so we want to pick this column, this cells reference as our lookup value. Okay, that's the value we want to come here to company name here in database 2 and look for it. Remember, I said that you need to separate with comma. Okay, So we now said, where is the search area? That's the table array. We're going to search in this table. All right. And then comma. And then column index. What column are we going to use to search? We're only going to search in one column, which is this company name column. So that's one. And then we want to return exact value. So you use 0 for exact value. And then you close this. All right. And then let's see if we are correct. So in the first instance here, if you double click on this, Excel has actually generated a result for us. But this result is not efficient. It's a wrong result. Yes, we've gotten a result, but it's a wrong result. Because if you look at Walmart here, you also see that we have Walmart here. So we had expected Excel to put Walmart here and show us Walmart here, but it didn't do that. So if you double click here, you see where the problem comes from. This is a common problem with VLOOKUP table, because when we're writing the sales reference for the table array, we had asked the Excel to use a variable number. So it will keep varying as the number goes down. Look at what it's doing here. It's varying. And because it's doing this, it's varying, it's not looking. See where it's searching here. The table array is coming down. If you come here, the table array is coming down. So what we need to do to correct this kind of error is to make sure that we tell Excel that every time it picks a key value here, it should come and search a fixed table array. Okay, so that's what we want to do in order to make sure that this is correct. All right, so we come back to the first formula that we wrote, and we say from this sales reference, this table array, you press F4. We have fixed that sales reference now. If we double click here, we now see that our result is correct. Okay. Now, if we want more descriptive results, what do we do? All right. So we'll do the same formula here. Okay. And then we will then try to bring in more descriptive results. Okay. So what we do is that we copy this. Okay. Because of time, I want to spare your time. We can copy this and paste here. Okay, undo Excel didn't like that. Okay, so this is correct. We can write it. Okay, let's quickly write it. Equals to VLOOKUP. Okay, so we say this is a key that we're going to use to search. We are going to search comma. Don't forget, and we're going to search it from here to here. All right, and then we say that this should be absolute value. All right, and we say comma. Okay, absolute value comma. We want to use the first column in the table array. Okay, comma. It should match the same value. All right, and then we close. Okay, so we will come back and say if error. All right, if error, we're going to use if error. Then we come back here and say comma. Sorry, no space. So we can then put a descriptive error, and then because we open the if error, we will also close it. Okay, and we say not found. Okay, not found. Okay, we say not found, and then we not found, and then we need to open up the error before the VLOOKUP. Okay, we've already opened up, and then this is the bracket. We have two brackets this way. We have to make sure that we have two bracket closing. Okay, let's Let's try it here. Okay. 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 So we've gotten that right now. You can see the ones that are not found, you have more descriptive. Instead of saying returning this kind of error, which is a system error from Excel, Excel will always say not applicable, okay, because it didn't see anything here. You can actually put a more descriptive error. Okay, finally, let's go to the last one. Okay. Okay, so we can also use a VLOOKUP table here. Okay, VLOOKUP table. For example, now I might want to, I have market value for each of these company, and maybe I have like 1,000 companies here. I have market value. I don't want to come and be copying, eyeball Shopify and copy the corresponding market value and paste here so that I don't make mistake. All right. So we can use Excel to actually write the formula for us. You can use VLOOKUP to also produce this kind of result. Okay, so I could say is equals to VLOOKUP. So what key are we going to use to find? All right, we're going to use this is a key. All right, and then comma. Then we're going to find this is a table area, that we're going to find. Remember, I said you have to change it to absolute value. So as you are moving from, as the search is moving from one row to another, the boundaries of the search will not change. All right. So I said comma. So again, we want to copy the market value in the second column. Okay. So we put 2 here, and then it should match the exact value. Okay. And then we close. Okay. Let's see if Excel will like that. Okay, exactly. So now, if you check the market value for Shopify here, is 256.7. So it has copied here for me. All right. So if I double click, the Excel will, whether you have 1 million record here, it automatically copy this market value and put it here for me. So I'm very sure that I would be very sure that I've not made any mistake. Okay, so that's how far we can go. That's how much we can take for today. I'll see you next week for another interesting edition of Excel tips and tricks. Please subscribe so that when we post a new video next week, you'll be able to get it. Like this page, also share with friends, especially those that are learning Excel newly, so that you can actually put up and beef up their, speed up their, how they learn Excel very quickly. They can learn Excel very quickly. Okay. All right. So that's how far and how much we can take for today. Thank you.